Well, I thought I would begin because yesterday I had to close the house up, and then I'm going to have a show in February, and in this show, I sort of conceived of it myself, where I decided that I wanted to show the very large paintings I made over the years. Some go back 20 years, and I wanted to show what's behind the small things that I make. And I realize now that there was a book that I made of small things that are mechanical and they work on the hand, but I don't think we have it here. But maybe I'll make a drawing or something. But anyway, when I went back to close up the house, I was very happy because I realized I had a sculpture there which illustrates, you know, how I make things. So this drawing I made, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and then it took me a couple years to finish this. And there you see I don't know. His mouth moves, you know, the mandible. And it's just so that we get right to the point, you know. His penis is a gutter pipe. That was the whole idea. I thought it would be wonderful to make a statue outside and that the penis would be a gutter pipe and the rain would come and so forth. So there he is. And the way I had it in my studio, I have boards instead of sheetrock, and I was able to slide this into the board, so it also moves like that. So I thought it was nice that you would see something alive, you know, that also I was interested in. You know, it's hard to give lectures. It's hard to show old work. It's boring for me. So I didn't really plan it very well. I just, the gallery made photographs of the last show, and then just now I went through, like, it's 60 years since I started my first works in 1948, so that's 60 years of work, not to mention the work of growing up till I was 18, you know. So it's sort of hard to go back, so I try to surprise myself. Can you hear me, by the way? Oh, because there doesn't seem to be a microphone. That's very nice, you know. So I thought I would surprise myself, and I took a selection over the hundreds and hundreds of slides on last week, and then I just put them in the carousel. Let's see. Now, I also found these photographs of the exhibit, which they put up, and some photographs. I had an exhibit in Basel, Switzerland, and you all will be able to look at this book. It happens to be the only copy I have left, but that's okay. You'll look through it carefully. This is where I live in Cape Breton, and I think that's a beautiful design. The idea had nothing to do with the design of the book. See? But I think that's nice to see, you know, our house and so forth. So you can look through that, and then there are photographs of just Kodachromes of the exhibit in Basel, and you can look at that, and a couple of photographs in my studio. So what would you like me to do? I know that when I told John about it, and he said, oh, they're very shy, they won't talk. So I said, well, tell them to ask me something. You know, you have someone working for 60 years. There must be something you want to know. So I'll start that way. Instead of the questions at the end, why don't we try this? You know, like, because you're all coming here from your worlds, you know, it's very hard. I think I admire you for coming in the evening to an art lecture. I think art is less and less relevant to people's lives somehow with the media so strong with television and cell phones and cell phone photographs, and I don't know, it's just, I'm totally shocked that people still come to sit in a lecture hall and an artist comes. You have to pull yourself out of this world, the world you're in, and come here. So I find that astonishing. Some of you come because your teachers told you you have to come. Some of you come because you work here and you have to come. So who comes because they want to come? Really? Wow. Why? Why do you want to come? Put up your hands who said yes, and then I'll pick one. Yeah.
You've been making work for 60 years, and maybe you could tell us why you still are passionate about what you're doing,
Right.
or how your feelings have changed over that time.
Right. It's a really good question. I'm not passionate about it anymore. No, not at all. But I was very happy when I came. But I work every day. You see, that's my habit. So that I'm rewarded, because I always say there's two things I believe in. You work when you don't want to work. And when you're afraid of something, do it. And I've done that all my life. So that means that if I'm down, if I'm depressed, if I don't see the point in it, I'll walk into my studio after I'm refreshed from sleep, and I'll walk in and I'll see someone has been working here. How wonderful. And then I'm happy. So it's just like practicing. It's logical to say if you're a musician, that's what you do. You work when you don't want to work, because you don't want to lose your skills, and you just don't want to lose the habit of working. So maybe that's an answer. You have another question? Yes.
Why did you start making art in the first place?
Oh. It chose me. It chose me very early in life. And one of the things I reflect on lately is, I used to be very proud that I knew what I wanted to do, and I started early, and I used to feel sorry for people that didn't know what they wanted to do. And now I sort of feel sorry for myself that I knew what I wanted to do. Because I think I only learned that. And that's all I know, you know. So at those moments when you have doubts about your life, and you make choices, and you have to choose that. And then when you get older, you say, well, maybe I missed a lot. Okay, well, that's normal for anybody, yeah. So I think it chose me. Okay. So what another question? Huh? I think that was heavy, wasn't it? What I had. Yeah. Well, let's see. Shall we go with this last show? And maybe I let the work talk, and I try to force myself to be quiet. Maybe that's the best thing to do. So we run through the gallery took pictures of my last show. So I'll stand in the audience too, and I want to look. We look, because I decided I want to sit in your shoes back here. I want to see what it's like to come to these boring lectures. I just want to tell you that it's very small. It's only 12 by 9 inches or something like that. Okay. And that's large. That's 48 by 50 inches. Okay. Now you just keep going. I'm not going to talk on every one of them, you know. I just want to say that the scroll, there'll be another one. You turn the crank and the figure, it goes around, so you get like a little film. And this is of 4 muses, like Greek caryatids, and you see the 4 of them. And the size is, that's about the egg beat. If it was an egg beater, that would be the size of the gears. Okay. I think that's the last one. Yeah. Let's see. Then I made a selection of. Let's look at the carousel. Hopefully they're in all right. I think the first one is going to be 1950 or something. I didn't take things from 48, but from 50. I'm curious. Right. Well, I'll just tell you the sizes, okay? Because this is only about 12 by 8. Yeah, okay, you can go fast with these. Yeah, that's about, it's about a little smaller than it looks on the screen. Yeah, a little bit smaller. Yeah, like the one I use, these are from the 50s. 54, I guess. Yeah, the other one is 53. This is very small, and when you see the next one, you'll see my. Now this is 6 by 9 feet. I'm not going to talk about it unless somebody wants me to talk about it later, okay? So we just go through it. These are small drawings on just writing paper. Okay. That's about the size, a little bit smaller, that painting. It's half the size of that. That's about 17 feet wide. They're life size. Yeah, that's 1968, right? That's 1971. It's half the size of that. That's, I think, 78. And this is the way I'm working on, and then you'll see the finished piece, I think, next. That's the head itself, and then the body. It should have been, okay, go faster, and then. Actually, this is maybe this idea of a head with things inside. I did this in 76. I just put it in between there, but you go forward, and then, yeah. So that's the finished piece. Yeah. Okay. That's 76. Yeah. That's bigger, little bigger than that. Yeah. Okay. That's about the size of the picture, maybe a little smaller. Yeah. Well, you saw that one. You can skip it. I think it's backwards anyway. This goes with something else. Let's have a little entertainment. I'm going to draw it for you. I'm going to draw you what it goes with. Yeah. Yeah, you need entertainment, you know. We can't go on like this. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice big piece of paper. So this is the woman you saw. See? And she's nice. She has little tiny feet like that. She dangles in there. And oh yeah, she's holding like a little Bible or something. And she is being pulled by this poor man. Except, I forgot to tell you, there isn't any string. That's right, there isn't any string. Because everybody knows there's a string. So how do we get rid of this? We have to have an eraser. Does anybody have an eraser? Well, there, I have room. Okay, let's go back to the slides. She gets an eraser. So now you see, there she is, as happy as a lark. And she's deprived of the man who's pulling her. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's upside down, and that's too bad that it's upside down. But no, can we turn it? No, let's go for it. I'll draw it for you later. You don't have to. Yeah. Okay, that's about the size of it. Yeah. Okay. And that's half the height. Yeah. And that's half the size. Yeah. Is that it? Well, that was painless, wasn't it? So what did I say I would draw? Oh, right. Yeah, that would be better. But I think I lost the chalk. Oh no, there it is.
Oh, we got all kinds of erasers now. You're all set? Okay.
What? Well, this is good. I like this. This is good. This is good. No, maybe we put the same painting in here. That's right. What? Why don't we do that? Let's see. No, I do it. That painting that you saw, it's called I don't remember which way the hand goes. Well, there, we'll make them go the same way. It's too. The landscape looks like. It's the landscape where I live. That's the mountain. That's the ocean. You saw things with boats on them. They go there, and that's the cliff. And there's the beach, and there's the people on the beach, and there's the few, and there's a road that comes to my house, and it's called Shadow of Hands. They live there. These two people. What else could I draw that you saw?
What's inside the head? There's a mechanical mechanism there, but what's inside the head?
Good question. So shall we say goodbye to this? Yes. It's sad, isn't it? I do this all the time. I cry. I cry about them going away to take more, so I can take more risks. Okay. I'm just trying to think how that started. The head. Well, there were two. There was the big head. That was. How did that come about? Make it short. 1975? No, I don't know. Something like that. Feminist movement. But I'm not there. I'm in Mabu, right? I'm older than or I feel that I'm older than the ones that are. I mean, I've done it for a while, and I'm tired, and I'm living with my husband, and we're happy. And okay, so they write to me, join us, join us, join us, and I don't feel like it, but my conscience bothers me because I know they're they have a cause. Righting the wrongs of the planet. Okay, so I avoid them, and then I go with my husband. Actually, we're not married, but I go with him across the country to his job in California, And when I get to California, there's a letter waiting for me. And it says, we're making a book, and we're righting the wrongs that have been done to women. We want you to join us. We want you to send a photograph of yourself and a reproduction of a painting. Maybe I'm not saying this is good. Maybe well, you see, I'm not quite in tandem with them because I've been working longer, and I haven't been suffering along those lines of being deprived of recognition. Okay, so I didn't have the same frustrations, but on the other hand, I knew that that was a good cause. So, but the letter was dated, and and I thought, it's too late. So I wrote them and I said, thank you very much. I'm sorry I couldn't make the deadline. I was traveling. So they wrote me a letter back and they said, we're waiting for you. So then I thought, okay. So at the time I was, because we lived in isolation in the country, and I had to learn to fix my car, or at least to be intelligent about it. So I took a course in Davis, California on cars, on repairing cars. I mean, just to learn about it, which I found very wonderful. And so somehow the combination of studying the engine and the frustration of the women sort of came together to me, and I suddenly got this wonderful idea that why don't all the women get together and make a monument to themselves? Really big, really big, so that when people come from outer space, they look down and they see this gigantic woman, and they say, aha, it's the women. It just seemed like such a good idea, So then came the next thought, which was, if you're so smart, why don't you make a drawing? Why don't you come up with an idea? So I made about 80 drawings of monuments to women. And finally it boiled down to this. Anything powerful, I simply put a woman's shape around it. A dam, a fountain, a locomotive, a car, because I like mechanics very much. So I made all these drawings, and then after I finished them, I thought, good, I don't have to make the monument, but I could make it small. Anything you make small can be made large. So anyway, the point is, I showed all these drawings in a gallery, and this factory, Lippincott, they make monuments in New York and elsewhere. They saw my show, and they invited me, to come to the factory and make whatever I wanted. And if I ever, I thought, what did I do that was smart? I did something right, and I thought, it's when I said to myself, if you're so smart, why don't you do it? So when I walked into the factory, and it was a big, big factory, and they were making many monuments, the Oldenburg statues and Barnett Newmans and Dubuffet, and here I was with my sort of sarcastic little idea, which I can't say I'm so proud of to tell you my attitudes, but that's what they were. And so I decided, the first thing I thought I'm going to make, this is a long way around to answer your question. Yeah, okay. But I got this idea, and you saw a picture of it. Remember when you see me working on that thing? Well, in the background there's a statue of, let's see, two women. One here. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be the wrong side. Well, I'm not going to do it exactly, but this is a bumper jack. When you jack, when they used to, ta-kong, 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 and then dun, 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 when you let it down. Music. I thought, I'm going to make two women going up on a jack. No, I forgot. I always forget how I think that's up here. I'm sorry. And so what you can do is you go ta-kong, 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 you raise them up, and then you trip it, and they go dum, 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 and when they go down, and it doesn't always work for me that I'm successful, but truly, when they go down, they go dum, 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 dum. They celebrate. They play with sticks. So this was the idea. I decided I'm going to make Lippincott. Because they said to me, you can take as long as you want, you can make it as big as you want. Now, can you tell me a better proposal? No, dream. So I had this idea, I showed it to them, but when I walked into the factory and I saw all the potential, I thought, fuck that drawing. And I made this. But no, I didn't make it right away. I just said to myself, I'm too excited. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get another idea. And sure enough, I went home. And it's really not such a great idea. But it just shows you that literally it all went to my head, So the way it works, what it is there's a crank, and there's a bellows, and there's a pipe, and there's and inside, on bicycles, when you used to have a little bell, and you went like this, and you'd hear this wonderful ring. I opened it. Did you ever open it? Fantastic. This thing that goes against the side of the bell. So that's what I put in her head. With two little stainless steel cones and her eyes. So, and then there's the air that comes from the bellow. And when you crank it, oh, and I forgot the most important part, the tongue. I can't remember exactly how I did this now. Right, gears. I've forgotten it. Right, a pinion gear and a wide gear like this. And so that you turn it, well, it's just like an egg beater, and then you turn it. And at the top, I made a little, I tripped the tongue. So you turn it, now here's the thing. You turn it, it grunts, and it goes, and then the tongue goes, and the inside this thing goes like this. It's a nice idea. I'm not so crazy about the sculpture, but I did sell it, and that was. But the nice part of this story that you will like, I know I'm a comedian, and that's not so good, but I am. They really were happy to get rid of me at the factory. In fact, at a certain point when I remember saying to them, but I have to be able to take the head off, the top of the head off, so that if something goes wrong with the mechanics, I have to be able to lift it off. I said, like the hood of a car. So we have to put hinges along the side. And they all said, yes, very good idea. And then the moment came, you can't put hinges on a head that swells out. The hinges have to line up. And I remember they looked at me, their heads dropped. My head dropped, and I said, oh, look, I have a better idea. I'm going to rent a studio in New York, and I'm going to work all these things out by myself. And everybody went, because in this catalog, there's a drawing. It's too bad you can't all see it, but you can look through here. And it's called Letter to Don Lippincott. See, it's on page 30. And this is the drawing for the head, because I wanted to make a man and a woman walking 10 feet tall. Don, you can see why I like the idea of plastic. Sparks come out of her head. I mean, I went crazy. And I had them put up sheets of paper, and I started making drawings, and then all the men in the factory started bringing in the next day all those wonderful robotic things that they made at home since they're little boys, and the whole factory just went to a standstill while we all returned to 10 years old and tried to reinvent mechanics, and they were really happy to get rid of me. And it was good, because it had to come to an end, because I remember saying, okay, I'll just make the head. And so that's the story. And it's a good story. You know, I always think it's one of my better stories. That's one of the mechanical things on the back. And that one, I draw for you because, yes, what happened when all this happened with the women make monuments to themselves, we make them as big as locomotives, but no, maybe we better just make them small. You know, if you can just master it, I thought, well, what am I going to use for propelling things? And I thought, oh, thumb. So that's how the whole thing started. I took apart a ballpoint pen, I took out the spring, and that's how it all began. With me pushing a spring and making lots of things happen. And there is a book out with about, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 of these. There's this one, though, I'm going to show you how. What it is you pull this trigger, and the wheel goes around the bottom. There's a spring in there. Let's see, there's the hoop. I don't even know how oh yeah, the spring is here. There's the turn, there's the thumb, and there's the figure. So you pull the trigger, and this goes down because of the spring, because it's attached to this. Sorry. And then she leans over and she hits the hoop. It worked. And I thought that's a good idea, a figure chasing a hoop on a gun. That's my anti-war statement, in case anybody wants to get into politics here. But we don't want to do that tonight. We want to get away from it, right? Just tonight, anyway. So let's see. So that's the story. Now, I think that any questions? Anything you want, you know, all you look so young here, this group. Like, you know, I don't know what to think when I look at you. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I can't even imagine it. I mean, you don't even look like you're old enough to be in college. To get my glasses on, I can't. Honest to God, it's wonderful. Really. No. I only had a problem when all the women started. Because when I started, there were only a handful. See? And it's different, you know, it became political when it was all women. can't explain why, but I think that happens. When you're, like you might say, I don't like to say I was a token, I was accepted because I was only one. That's not real acceptance, is it? No. It's just because I'm one. And well, they'll take one. They'll take one of these, one of those, one of these. So the problems, it's because it's an economic problem, it's a problem of time, women with children and families, and I didn't have any of that, you see. Only later, with other women, I had more problems. But like one of the things that was hard was first of all, I was 18 when I started, and when I only went 3 months to art school. I don't believe really much in art schools, sorry. But I don't say, at that time, it wasn't good to be in an art school. It was better to go out and try it. Now I know it's different. But I was 18, and my fellow students were ex-GIs, and they were a very mellow, tired, mid-20s people, So they were very happy to see a young girl with so much energy and so much innocence, really. And I did have, actually, a lot of innocence. So I was very encouraged by them, because I had all the energy that they didn't have. So that's probably that's got me off to a good start. And then I left because I thought to myself, well, I don't want to be like my professor. I want to be like those visiting artists that come and then go out and everybody has a drink and they're rowdy and they do whatever they want. I mean, these are the thoughts an 18-year-old has, So I left school and I actually went to Paris by myself. I was kind of fearless. But now I see it differently. I just had a very easy time. I didn't break in. That's all I did, I was very free, and I think artists, they respond to work. I mean, people responded to my work. And the fact that I was a woman and I was young, well, that was a problem for them later. But maybe initially when they saw my work, they were always very encouraging. So, yeah. I didn't break my way in. I know I can't even imagine what you have to deal with now. I can't even, because there weren't that many, and there were very few art schools, and you didn't get degrees. And then I was invited to teach when I was 21 back in the school I ran away from, because they liked my work. So you see, I was encouraged to be free. So I didn't have the problems that you face. I don't know what to say. I really don't know. What do you think? What do you think what can they do now? What can you do? You can't make a living from it. You have to go to a center like Beijing or New York, and you have to place your life on the line. You have to be a daredevil. I'm not recommending it, but I mean that's how people make it. They are iconoclastic. They smash idols. With that audacity, that's how many make it. And they should, and it's okay, and they should. They're talented. Like a great singer or a rock band. I mean, look at them. How do they make it? By the force of their passion and their love for what they do. And very few win. Very few. So what do you do otherwise? I don't know. You try to deal with this evening you're having with me for the rest of your life. Well, obviously, I'm passionate tonight, right?
Right.
So, I just meant I have moments where, when I never had any doubts, I never had any loss of passion. But I'm now 78 years old, so, and then my husband is older, and he doesn't feel so well, you know, and my concerns are more about him. So it just doesn't seem appropriate. I mean, it's not that I'm not passionate about it. It's just not important the way it's not the center of my life anymore. No, not at all. But I do it anyway. I mean, and probably from whatever experiences in life I'm having, something will come out of it. I mean, you see, there's a piece in there of a woman, and there's a man with a big head, and he's slumped down like this, you know, and she's comforting him. Well, I remember, when did I make that? I don't know, in the 90s. And that was very exciting to make that, because I realized that this little nymph, the head was the world to her. His head was the world. I found that very wonderful, very true. And I learned something, and I don't know what it means, but it was a very wonderful feeling that that's a truth about some relationships. That I like that his head is the world to me. No, I've absolutely never. I got hooked by that one, you know, when they said, "We're waiting for you." That was I had avoided it. No, I've never, no, absolutely never. No, it's not that. It's not that, no. It's that I make these people, and they can't move without me. That's what it is. It's that I want them to come alive. So it's that I suddenly say, yeah, but move, go, live. See? So it's not there, it's that I made them. So I want them to move. How else am I going to get them to move? Strings, I don't want to, strings, right. And don't think I don't think about strings. These scrolls. I've gotten really much better at making them. I mean, I know the big flaw, I saw it this time, it's so clear to me. That why now they work very well, because when I make these things that go like this, see, that go around one here, and for some reason, because I looked at rollers, paint rollers, that's how it started, and I noticed that paint rollers go like this. Oops. And I made the mistake of doing that. And now I straightened all the sides out, and I'm going to run back and I'm going to fix all the scrolls that I made. And now it goes very well. So why do I do scrolls? I mean, that is something I would like to know. I don't know why I do them. I really don't know. That's perplexing. I probably shouldn't do them anymore. I can't figure it out. Biding my time, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting. Are you trying to help me with my problem, or I don't know, are you? No, I don't know, is it, you don't know, it isn't, yeah, no, but I think that the reason I'd make this is I love dancing, and I think that's what I would rather watch more than anything, is people dancing. And I wished I could have been a dancer in a way. So I do these things that are a substitute, maybe, for dance. Maybe that answers your question too, Becky. The dance that I love. Yeah. I would like to make them dance, rather than face other problems. I would like to see people dancing. Well, I have really two thoughts, because it's a mystery to me too. You know, is why tin, I say. And then I think, I go like that. Somewhere in my past, I think it's true. In my ancestors, they worked with metal. I feel it. I feel it's in me. It's in my genes. So that's one answer I give myself, and not illogical, is it? That somewhere somebody worked with metal. So maybe that's really the answer. There's just certain materials that express who you are. I love to. What is this made out of? This is made out of galvanized tin plate. I don't know. I don't know why people choose materials they choose. It's just it's part of what is helping them express who they are. So I don't know. No, never. Why?
I don't know.
Do you sometimes wonder? Yeah. Yeah. No, I never did wonder. I think if you wonder, you should wonder why you wonder. It's good. It's good. Maybe something's more true for you. You know? Can't believe it. No, I didn't like it at all when I came. I liked the people very much, but I missed the city. I grew up in a city. I lived in an apartment building. I loved city parks. I didn't understand what's the difference. Are some landscapes better than other landscapes? I mean, I thought you have a tree in front of your house, you're so lucky. You know, I didn't grow up in nature. So the choice actually of going to Cape Breton was not mine. It was my husband. And why do you laugh? Why do you laugh? Huh? Are you going to cry? I mean, what is it? Why did you laugh? Huh? It's okay. It's okay. I just am surprised that you laughed. I'm laughing myself about it. No. No. So, yeah. Then I think I also was tired of New York. So it wasn't really, and I wanted to go with him to start a new life. And I didn't want to be a summer resident. I had just been to East Hampton near New York for the summer before, and I was horrified by artist colonies. I thought, and I hated myself and all the artists that were there for imposing on these people who had to spend the winters there, and then had to put up with these superior nuts that were there. You know, so when I came to Cape Breton and Robert wanted to we were just going to get a place for the summer, but he fell in love with it. He's Swiss, you see, and he loves the ocean. So all that has to do with it. So I just simply said to him, I will if we're going to live here, I'm going to move here. I'm going to be a landed immigrant. I'm not going to be a summer resident. And actually, it turned out to be the most wonderful thing I ever did in my life, of all the things I've ever done. But it was hard for me. But I consider it to be the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me. And he, on the other hand, because he loved the country and the grandeur of this ocean, and it didn't matter to me that there was an ocean. I'm from Chicago. We have a big lake. It looks like the ocean. I don't know. It didn't matter to me. So, my enchantment was with the people, how open they were with me, how appreciative they were, and how they became my friends. Not a lot, but just a few. And it gave me a feeling that if you're a city person, you'll understand this, that one day, 5 years after living in Cape Breton, I remember I put the key in the door. I'll never forget it. And I thought, I belong. And I had never felt that I belonged on the earth. When you're in the city, you can be dispensed with. You're not important. You don't belong. You have to prove that you belong. And that moment was one of the most wonderful moments of my life. Well, you'd have to meet with me another evening. Because there's a story I told you about Lippincott factory. I've got a story about being in Paris at 18 that you wouldn't believe.
I'll catch you.
Yeah, right. Okay, everybody. Tomorrow's another day, and let's have fun tonight. Okay?